Hey guys, my name's Haley. I'm going to be talking to you about my PowerPoint. For my PowerPoint, I did choose Leonardo da Vinci. So just some information about his life. He worked as an artist and also an engineer, created some of the most famous images in European art. He was an Italian artist. He invented the first flying machine. He was most famous for painting the Mona Lisa and The Last Supper. Next, we have facts about him. Kind of leading back to the first slide, it was his art in the Italian Renaissance. He did multiple pieces of art. So I was just talking about that a little bit. He was a legend, also known as a legend during the High Renaissance. He was known as the Renaissance man during that time period. His paintings have affected countless artists. So some of his paintings really spoke to others that continued their art journey. They continued to do more because of some of his art. He used handmade oil paints from ground pigment, painted a variety of surface, and sometimes used wet plaster or painted on dry stone walls. He used silver point, pen, and ink, black and red chalks, just a few things that he would use. According to Leonardo, he allowed him to produce luminous tones to Walter Isaacson. He was a master for the Italian term light or dark for contrast of light. Just a little bit more about his life. He was born on April 15th, 1952. 1464, he enrolls in Andrea del Verrocchio in Florence, Italy. In 1472, he completed in Florence and finishes his painting of the Annunciation. And his painting of that symbolizes the coming of the new age, which they announce to the Virgin Mary that has been chosen to the Mother of Christ, from the Old to the New Testament. In the picture, Mary is sitting outside reading in front of the lantern, and Gabriel seems to be kneeling before her. With trees in the background, it appears to be a nature setting. So that's a little bit about that painting. Just some more about his timeline. You have the year of 1482. He moves to Milano. The year of 1483. Virgin of the Rocks painting was completed of his. Just a little more detail of that. Virgin of the Rocks was Jesus and John meeting as infants while fleeing the massacre of the innocents. The rocks refer to Jesus, who is called the rock of the Christian religion. In 1490 was The Lady with Ermine painting. In 1492, it was the man's sketch that he completed. This drawing represents the ideal body, proportioned primarily with pen to light brown ink. Kind of looks like it's on a map. 1498, The Last Supper in Milan. It was given by 12 of the people when Jesus said, that they betrayed him, and it symbolizes the last meal shared with Christ and his disciples. Then the picture, if you look it up, you see Jesus sitting with all of the disciples at a big table. From the 1500 to 1503, he visits multiple places. He moves to Rome and produces an overhead map. His Virgin and Child with St. Anne's painting. 1503 to 1506, it was the Mona Lisa painting, which basically the painting is a drawing that represents the ideal body proportions primarily with pen and light brown ink. It is also known of properties and proportion of man. He attempted to make connections between man and nature. This Mona Lisa is a portrait of the wife of the Mona Lisa. 1515, St. John the Baptist painting is another one of his. During his final days, it was 1517 when he moves to France, and 1519 when he passes. And then you have multiple paintings of his. And that is everything.